The North Country's Regional Economic Development Council has been meeting in Albany this week for another round of competition for hundreds of millions of dollars in state money. Among the projects on the list for this year is a new hotel proposed for downtown Tupper Lake. And as our Jack LaDuke tells us, that hotel is being called the Crossroads for a good reason.
The hotel would not only be in the center of downtown, but at the junctions of Route 3 and 30, major crossroads in the region. The entrepreneurs of the $10 million boutique hotel are Nancy Howard, who ran the renowned Walbeek Hotel, and Betsy Lowe, who was the driving force behind the highly successful Wild Center here in Tupper Lake. The hotel will be located downtown close to shops and restaurants. Howard and Lowe are now busy raising financing and welcome suggestions for the new venture.
Well, it's not a franchise hotel, but a smaller, more individualized hotel. And we're looking at 40 rooms with a combination of a bar, restaurant, meeting room, rooftop garden, potentially taking advantage of the views of the lake on the top floor, and a fitness swimming pool.
There are fewer than 100 motel rooms in town, not enough to accommodate the growing number of visitors in the summer. With an additional 40 rooms, it will nearly double the present capacity, easing the accommodation squeeze.
We have a Wild Center here, which is a beautiful museum. Brings people in from all over the world. But if we have a 5-day conference, we have to plan about a day or a day and a quarter of transportation, and you have to bus these people to Lake Placid. So the people in this area are losing business.
The architects designed the building after some of the 19th century Adirondack hotels with a noticeable flair toward the venerable great camps of the Adirondacks. The recently opened Wild Walk at the Wild Center has been a soaring success, bringing in thousands of tourists weekly. The center welcomes the proposed hotel.
What we do have that is so wonderful here in Tupper is a beautiful place. It's just, we have such a wonderful place that not a lot of people have seen in the sort of heart of the Adirondacks. So we have some great hotels here in Tupper, but more would bring more people. So we all work together. The Adirondack Public Observatory, the beach that's going to be planned down in the park, all those things kind of work together in order to make a real thriving tourism community. So I am all for it, and I am really pleased that, Betsy is sort of thinking in this visionary way, as she always does.
Many of the business people say that they can see a need for the specialized hotel that's planned for Tupper Lake.
Well, I think one of the biggest things we hear is just there's not enough rooms. And we do hear a lot from folks that they're looking for a more upscale place to stay, such as you might find in Lake Placid or Saranac Lake or Lake George or Saratoga. And there's not an alternative for that here now.
Sally Stresser renovated the old movie theater in downtown. She has hopes that when tourists stay a few days longer in Tupper Lake, it will help to boost the economy.
If she could bring conferences here, it would be all different seasons that could happen. And also, there could be a lot of bleed out into other like restaurants, the movie theater, different places here in Tupper Lake would see more business. And if people stay in a town, they tend to shop and look around and buy in that town a lot more than if they are passing through.
Hopes are high that the Crossroads Hotel will act as a speed bump, allowing travelers to linger in the heart of the Adirondacks when the hotel opens in about a year and a half. For Mountain Lake Journal, I'm Jack LaDuke in Tupper Lake.